Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today for another segment of Discovery Days. So let's first start off by thanking our Free Family Fund sponsors at the Chickasaw Nation and at the Inasmuch Foundation for making this possible. So as you guys know, here at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, we tell Oklahoma's story through its people because we believe that Oklahomans and future generations of Oklahomans, just like our lovely viewers out there, can change the world or actively changing the world as well. All right, so for today's Oklahoma Hall of Fame member feature is Paul B. Sears. So originally from Ohio, Paul Sears was educated at Ohio Wesleyan and Universities of Nebraska and Chicago. He was an associate professor for about 2 years when he moved to the University of Oklahoma as a professor and head of botany. So if you guys recall from, I think, a few weeks ago, or maybe just last week, when we talk about Harriet Barkley, Dr. Barkley was also a botanist. So Dr. Barkley and Sears, I assume Dr. Sears also studied botany. They are both people who studied plants. So for about 10 years, he served as professor of conservation and chairman of the Yale University Conservation Program in Connecticut. He authored Deserts on the March in 1935, and the book became an instant conservation classic, was a Book of the Month Club selection, and went into numerous printings at OU's printing press. Alrighty, so that leads us to today's story time. We will be reading a little book about leaves entitled "We're Going on a Leaf Hunt." I know the cover kind of seems like a fall theme book, but it was the best one I could find about today's craft, which will be making leaves as well. So I hope you're excited to read this book. I think it still pertains into springtime. You can still look for leaves in the spring. Sort of. They look a lot different. They're mostly covered in flowers though. But this is the book written by Steve Metzger. So let's go ahead and get started. Cover page again. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right now. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a mountain, a tall, tall mountain. We can't go under it. We have to go over it. We're coming to a mountain. Come on, let's go. Climb, climb, huff, puff. We made it. You guys think you would be huffing and puffing if you had to climb over a mountain? I think I definitely will. Pick up those leaves from the maple tree. That's an example of like a fall type of tree right there with its beautiful leaves. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaf. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a forest, a dark, dark forest. We can't go over it. We have to go through it. We're coming to a forest. Come on, let's go. Steps, step, step, squish, squash. We made it. Looks like our friends are holding on to each other so they don't get lost in the dark forest. That's a good idea. Pick up those leaves from the birch tree. See, these leaves are a different color. The other leaves from the maple tree was orange, but now these are yellow, nice yellow leaves. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. We're coming to a waterfall, a swishing, swishing waterfall. We can't go through it. We have to go around it. We're coming to a waterfall. Come on, let's go. Slip, slide, splish, splash. We made it. Pick up those leaves from the hickory tree. And in these leaves are also a different shade. They look yellow, but they like a browny yellow. You know, a nice mid-tone color right there. We're going on a leaf hunt. We're going right away. Let's find colorful leaves. It's a wonderful day. See, the sun's even out and happy that our friends are going on a leaf hunt. We're coming to a lake, a cold, cold lake. We can't go around it. We have to go across it. We're coming to a lake. Come on, let's go. Row, row, plip, plop. We made it. Pick up those leaves from the red oak tree. So now we got some red leaves and our friends are having a lovely picnic underneath the red tree. What's that sound? It's coming from that bush. It's black, it's white, it's black and white. It's a A skunk, let's go. Hope it's a friendly skunk. Back across the lake, plip plop. Back past the waterfall, splish splash. Back through the forest, squish squash. Back over the mountain, huff puff. We're home. We went on a leaf hunt. What a wonderful day. We found lots of colorful leaves. Now let's jump and play. Alrighty, so that concludes today's story time about our lovely friends going on a leaf hunt and going through different colors of leaves that you can experience, particularly in the fall time, but also maybe year round. So that leads us to today's craft. We will be making kind of an inspiration from the book and Paul Sears himself. We will be making a little worm on the leaf. And what's nice about this craft, it's very easy, but you can also make it kind of 3D. My worm is not, it's kind of curved. Maybe you can see it that way. And just another example of something you might want to put in your garden if you would like to. So I'll go ahead and get all my supplies out. Now I already have a leaf cut out on hand, but if you need to pause this video and have a grown-up help you with this portion of this craft, go ahead and do that. It's really simple. All you have to do is kind of just trace over any colored paper. It doesn't have to be green. It can honestly be any shade of green. I mean, not any color. It doesn't have to be a green leaf like this book. There are many different types of colored leaves. Just go ahead and trace it. This one's a lot easier to trace like this, just trace it and then cut it out with the help of an adult. Anyone who's there to help. But like I said, I already have so many leaf cutouts. I want to use the craft supplies I have on hand. So that's why I'm using this one. So like I said, you can pause this video so you can get your leaf cut out and then join us when you're done. But I guess that's the first step, is getting a leaf cut out. So the next step would be, if you would like to maybe add some accents to your leaf, like I did with this one. I use a green crayon on my green leaf to made some accents, make the leaf a little bit more fun and interesting. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't have a dark enough green, so I'm gonna actually use a white crayon to kind of do the same, add some accents to the leaf, make it more fun, more dimensional. But I hope everyone had a lovely week, and I believe you all might be recovering like I am from spring break. I hope you had a good spring break, whether you stayed at home or you had a nice vacation. I hope you still enjoyed the time off that you had from school and were able to enjoy the start of the spring season. Right now, it definitely feels like spring. This whole week in Oklahoma, the weather has been kind of wacky, but it's always kind of wacky, We got really strong winds, there was a rainstorm, and everything. But I'm about done adding some accents to my leaf. I think that's good. So the next step would be trying to measure measure your pipe cleaner to your leaf. So the pipe cleaners I have, they're pretty long, so they won't really fit. So what I did, like for this one, I folded it in half, just like this. That way it fits. And it's okay if it still doesn't fit perfectly. It's completely fine. It might depend how big or small your leaf is, but this is a good size. So what I like to do is twist my pipe cleaner just a little bit, so that way the ends don't, stray away, that they stay together and it seems like it's just the same pipe cleaner. So you can try and hide the fact that you might have folded it. But yeah, I just twisted it a bit so it stays like that. And I still want this worm to be kind of bendy, like it's kind of like worming through onto the leaf, like it's moving. That's the right word, not worming. So I'm just bending it a little bit, and then for it to stick on here, with the ends of the pipe cleaner, I'm gonna hold it like this and then bend it upward. That way it stays like that. And then it's easier to glue on. Yes, I like it. So for this activity, I will be using glue dots. I use glue dots for this one. Oh, this eye just fell off. Oh no. I think it'll be easier to use glue dots for the eyes, and to stick it on. But for this example, this one has glue dots, but for this example, I want to use a normal glue stick for anyone out there who doesn't have glue dots. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and add some glue directly on my pipe cleaner. It might get fuzzy, but that's okay. When you glue something else, it might come off. It should come off. So I'm going to glue to my pipe cleaners to the ends, to the two ends that I bent flat, and stick it on my leaf. Yeah, it sticks perfectly fine. Awesome. So the last step now, like I said, this craft is really easy, but it's really fun, is adding on the eyeballs to our worm. So I have pretty small googly eyes right here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use my glue stick to add glue to the back, of my googly eyes and stick it on there. And it's okay if you accidentally get glue on yourself like I always do, and I just did. You can always wash your hands afterwards. So here we go, adding the last googly eye. These are the smallest googly eyes I can find, and they're pretty big, but I think it adds some nice character to our worm that they have pretty big eyes. And there we go. Now it's stuck on there, and we're done with today's craft. I'm so sorry, I'm just rolling up my glue stick right now. But here are worms on our leaves, inspired by our local Oklahoman conservationists like Paul Sears. And from our book, We're Going on a Leaf Hunt, making some worms on leaves. Let me hold it up this way so you can see it properly. But here are my army of worms. I only have 2 so far, but I can always make more. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's story time and craft with me here at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. And of course, I will see you guys next week for another segment of Discovery Days. Bye.